You know, the way I understand it is back in the 1850s, a guy named Jackson was out doing some exploring here in Idaho Springs. And what he done, he come across a lot of big nugget gold. And that started the big gold rush back then. In a matter of months, over 50,000 people converged on Idaho Springs. And it didn't take them long to, of course, mine out and pan out all the big nuggets and the dust gold all up and down, all through these mountains in the creek beds. Now then, that's what's leading us to this gold shaft right here. They figured out that the gold had to come from somewhere, so they started drilling these big mine shafts up above where they pan the gold out here. So this is one of them, so let's go in and look at, hey, the mine shaft. Wearing a hard hat. Can you imagine sitting here all day long with one guy holding a round rod and the other guy with a hammer beating here and knocking holes in these rocks to blast out? And that's what they was doing, getting these veins of rock that contain, hey, the gold.
In 1859 is when our gold rush started, and the guys started out in the streams, and then they progressed up into hard rock mining. Well, once they got their mines, say 500 to 1,000 feet deep, their mine shafts started filling with water. And by the 1890s, many of the rich gold mines of Central City were threatening to close down, just unable to keep up with that water seeping into their mines. A man named Samuel Newhouse had an idea of drilling a tunnel from here in Idaho Springs, which sits at 7,500, over to Central City, which sits at 9,500, about 2,000 feet below those rich gold mines, to drain them of their water. And then he also had the idea of providing transportation services through that tunnel. And to make the tunnel a true success, they would have to have a huge mill to process the ore coming out of that tunnel.
You know, all the ore that come out of the mines would come to this facility and go down through this chute and separate it in different sizes and then recrush. And boy, I guess this is where the process really started beginning, after them hammers in there just hammered the rocks. Can you imagine the labor-intense work, hot during the summertime and cold during the winter?
Well, what would happen is the mines would come to the Argo and say, well, Argo, you know, I think I'm going to pull about 30 tons of ore today. The Argo would deliver them 10 ore carts that can carry 3 tons each. And they would get a tunnel cart ticket on that shipment of ore. The ore came out of the tunnel. It would get tested or assayed. They would determine how much gold, silver, copper, lead, and zinc was in it, pay the miner minus milling and transportation charges. And then from there, they would start processing their own ore, starting out with mercury amalgamation would be one of the chemical processes. Flotation was another chemical process they used in the mill. And then in later years, they converted these big tanks that you see around us into cyanide leaching tanks. So those were the chemical processes, and then they would use what's known as a roll-free or shaker table for a mechanical process to extract the free or alluvial gold.